before all of that, like I've always been sort of a documentarian. Like a lot of my work is documentary style. So I shoot it. I try to. The way that I explain it is that it's not stiff. You know, like my shooting is not stiff. Like I like to move around with the camera. I like to get different angles. I like to, you know, shoot from behind something or, you know, get in front of somebody's face. Like I just like to move around. So I've always been that way. I don't know why I operate that way, but I do. I just think that it creates like better visuals, something that people can look at and, you know, say like, oh, this is really, you know, this story is really like has different, I guess different angles, like different angles of the story. And as an independent filmmaker, I just started really getting into film. I started filmmaking in about 2012. I did a film called Girls Like Us, and you know, it's had a lot of success. You know, thousands of views on YouTube and everything like that. But more recently, I've been getting into like short films, documentaries, trying to come up with a really dope web series. Just trying to, you know, just really just kind of figuring it out as I go. So that's me in a nutshell. Why visual storytelling? I think visual storytelling is one of the greatest art forms. You know, it's really a great platform to not only inspire people, but to also like change people's perspectives, and change the narrative of, you know, marginalized people. So I think us as filmmakers, like, you know, that kind of comes as like one of our responsibilities, to kind of change the narrative, like to put someone out there that, you know, you haven't seen before in, you know, TV and film, and just kind of tell their story. So yeah, I was always an artsy kid. That's my baby picture. I still do that sometimes. But I was introduced to the arts at a young age. My older brother, I kind of give a lot of credit to him for the way the way that I am. He was a really great artist, like a he drew very well. He actually drew comics for his high school and had like a full ride scholarship to the Art Institute. So, you know, he's pretty dope. And so one day we just, you know, had like a little drawing contest. You know, we were drawing like Street Fighter figures or whatever. And, you know, I went around asking people like, you know, whose artwork is better? Is it mine or they or my brother's? And I'm pretty sure that people probably said it was mine because I was the younger sister. Now that I think about it, but you know, I was still dope though. Still dope. But either way, I just always had an appreciation for art. I was always drawing. I was always doing something. I used to play with Connects. I don't know if you guys know Connects. I thought I was the only one. But basically, you know, that's like a it's kind of like Legos, but in a more three-dimensional form. So, yeah, I'll just go to the next one. I love hearing people's stories. You know, in these pictures, you know, we have Nikki Giovanni, a famous poet. We have Ava DuVernay, and Simone Manuel. I think that's how you say her last name. But I thought it was really interesting to actually be in front of some of these people and to like hear their stories of triumph and you know, even their stories of struggle. Like what makes them who they are. I've always been interested in the humanity of people, like what makes them, you know, tick or what makes them move or whatever, what makes their creativity, you know, at its peak, get to its peak level. And just being in front of some of these people, I mean, it's been such an amazing experience. I mean, Nikki Giovanni, she like touched my face and everything. So, and you know, I made a joke and made Ava smile. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just stuff like that, to be in front of people that you kind of look up to, that you hear about in your history books, you know what I mean? And to just be in front of them and to kind of just hear them talk about like their experiences over the years. That's pretty cool. I also love telling people stories. This is a collage of some of the screenshots of the videos that I've created. As you can see, they're all people. I love people. Even though it doesn't seem like it, I get kind of anxious sometimes, but I do love people, and I love to be able to deliver their stories to other people so that they know, so that people know and understand who they are, and maybe even get inspired to do something similar to what they do. My favorite projects, and the S is crucial, because I do not have just one single favorite project. This is my most recent project, Fear. And it's pretty much a short narrative about a young teen who became a victim of police-involved shooting. And, you know, this is a story that I was really passionate about, because while working at Ebony, you know, we would see these stories come across our desk like every day, you know, and just hearing stories of people like Alton Sterling and Philando Castile and Laquan McDonald. So those type of stories, those type of current events like really inspired me to make this. And it's really just a story. It's not the story of how, you know, a young black teen gets put in front of these police officers and eventually ends up, you know, losing his life. It's really just a story of the fear that everybody experiences leading up to the shooting. So the fear of the teenager, well, he was actually pretty fearless, which is probably why he got into the situation that he was in. But the fear of the mom, you know, just not wanting anything to happen to her son. The fear of the cops, you know, the black cop, veteran cop, just the fear of him being, I guess, reprimanded for speaking up for what he believes in. The fear of the white cop, the young rookie cop, you know, him experiencing the same type of situation that they got the call for. Then we have the father, and then we have the friends, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just something that I really had to do. It was on my heart, it was on my spirit, and I had to put it out there. My second favorite project is my trip to Egypt. The funny thing is, somebody was like, this doesn't even look real. I'm like, oh, it's real. It's real hot, too. But I went to Egypt for my birthday in February, and it was just the greatest experience that I've ever had. I had never been out of the country, and I knew that this is just one place that I had to go. Again, this is a place that's been on my spirit and on my heart for a very long time, and I just kind of jumped at the opportunity when it presented itself. So took some pretty cool pictures. These kids were like standing on top of the donkeys, like trying to show off. These guys, you know, I don't know, like I just had to capture as many moments as possible, because I was out there for about 6 or 7 days and just learned so much. I have a lot of video content as well, But I'll show that at a later date. So, keys to growth. A few things to keep in mind if you're looking for elevation. Yeah, so this is like one of my, I laugh at this picture all the time because if you can see this camera, it's literally about the size of my hand. I used to shoot videos on that camera, like music videos, like, you know, videos for different artists, different entrepreneurs, events. Like I used to shoot with that. And I don't complain about it because it literally helped make me like kind of get me where I am now. Because I used what I had. Like I didn't have a huge budget to buy the best camera, or I didn't have anybody like helping me. So just had to basically just get started. And also experimented, you know. There's a lot of things that I didn't know. Like I shot a music video and we literally used like a desk lamp as light. You know what I mean? So, but nobody knows that until I say it, and it's just like, what? Like, it's crazy. But then also I had to make some sacrifices. Like there were times where I shot projects that, you know, didn't actually pay, you know, and weren't paid. But some of those projects were actually the projects that help elevate my work and my worth as well. So you are your brand. This is a photo that I took that I actually have on my business cards right now. And I also the reason why I did that is because I feel like it's beneficial to have your photo on your business card, because when somebody pulls it out, they remember who they talked to, and they're like, oh yeah, that's the girl with that smile. So I thought it was very strategic to do that. But also, the way that I was able to kind of elevate was to make myself a brand. Of course, my full name is not Chan C. Smith. It's Chandrelin, but do not call me that. But early on, like before I got started, I thought about what I wanted my name to appear as on my work. So like if I'm thinking about the big screen, like, because I've always pictured my stuff being on the big screen. If I thought about the big screen, I wanted to have a name that stood out, you know? So I chose Chan C. Smith. C is actually my middle initial. And so with that, just having that name and just being visible, being a brand, like, you know, everything was Chan C. Smith, like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you know, just seeing that name and being visible, you know, being social. That kind of help people like, you know, hey, I know that name. Like, and then, you know, when they see me, they're like, oh, yeah, hey, you're Chan C. Smith. Yeah, so, yeah. Just gonna move on. Someone is always watching. When you do the type of work, you know, in terms of like visual storytelling, somebody's always going to be watching, whether it's employers, students, or even your idols. This is a picture with me and Ava DuVernay. Just weird because I feel like she's watching me. And it's very strange, but you know, that just makes me think about the type of work that I'm putting out even more. It makes me think about being more intentional with my messages and, you know, all of that cool stuff. But I've also been, you know, watched by students or people that just are fans of videography or cinematography. Like, they just want to know, like, how you do this certain technique, or, you know, all that cool stuff. So, looking forward, become a student of change. It is the only thing that will remain constant. I like to consider myself a student of life, for life. I'm always learning, always experiencing, and I try to do it in the most humble way possible. If you guys see me being arrogant, just be like, Chan, chill out, you know what I mean? Because I really don't want to be that. But it's really more so being confident in your ability. And so with that, I've been trying to do more narrative storytelling, more documentaries, collaborating with new people, and just overall production work because I love this stuff. I love it. I don't see myself doing anything else. So, that is all.